All right, in a couple days, we're gonna rent a 12,000 pound telehandler, and we'll see if my idea works in reality like it does in my head. I'm gonna take this beam. This is actually one of the beams that goes under the cabin, but I'm gonna use it first to move this roof, hopefully in one piece. So I've marked it out where each of these trusses is gonna be. So I'm gonna have this beam stretched above the ridge there, holding it with the telehandler and chains, and then run a chain from each truss up to the beam all the way across. That's why I have these here, so I can make sure I get it nice and centered and in the right spot. And then have the telehandler about where the tractor's at, extend it up above and lift the beam, which is just acts as support to lift the roof. So I'll have to go through and cut each one of these on both sides, and then lift that whole roof in one piece off over the cabin, and then go set it down out there in the pasture. Then I can come back with the telehandler and grab each of these containers, and I have a new foundation built over here, just some footers that I poured, 12-inch concrete tubes. And so then those two containers will go over here and then grab that roof and set it up on top. So right now the roof comes to about the center of the container. I'm gonna move both containers in, so then there ends up being 8 feet sticking over the containers on both sides. So right now there's 44 feet in between the containers. There's gonna be 18 feet in between, but then that gives us 8 feet of overhang on both sides. For this side will be rabbits. Gonna build a little rabbit colony in there, and then this side will have chickens or tractor, or we'll have another place to put stuff. But then my solar panels can go up on top, because this will be turned 90, so then this will be facing the correct direction. I'll be able to put my solar panels up there, and inside of that container will be all of my solar equipment, the batteries and everything. But when we run the chain from this truss up to the beam, it's going to be right on the edge of that beam and could easily slip off. So I'm going to weld these on here. That's just temporary, and then once we're done moving the roof and the container barn and everything, I'll use this beam under the house, get the house moved, and then we need to one of my neighbors is gonna let me use a skid steer with a breaker, break all this concrete out of here, all the way down the driveway. There's quite a bit, and then all up under the house, the old foundation from the old house, get all that broke up, and then down there in the creek, I'm gonna build a culvert, like a bridge going across the creek. So I'm going to use all that concrete to build that bridge. And if I end up having too much, there's a huge hole. Sorry, the rooster. There's a huge hole in the back there that is eroding really bad. It's probably like a 20-foot drop. It's like a waterfall. And as that erodes, it's actually working toward my stock tank. So eventually that would cause a problem there. So if I have extra, I'm going to fill that hole in with concrete, and that should stop the erosion, and I can get rid of concrete for free. So hopefully this works out like it does in my head. We'll see. I've seen some videos and talked to people, and they say this 12,000 pound telehandler can pick that container up no problem, and other people have told me it can't pick it up. So I do have plan B and C if needed, but hopefully it just works out like I'm thinking.